It started small, the way most fights in that house did, over something that wasn't really the thing at all. You told him he could stop having Victor walk him to the bathroom, Sophia said, voice tight, standing in the kitchen doorway with her arms crossed. After everything that happened last week. He's 12, not 5. He can't have a bodyguard following him into a bathroom stall for the rest of his life. He can if it keeps him alive. Emma sat at the kitchen table, coloring book forgotten in front of her, eyes moving between her parents the way they always did when the air in a room changed. Lucas stood frozen near the refrigerator, a glass of water halfway to his mouth, not drinking, not leaving, caught in the particular stillness children learn when adults forget they're still in the room. I made a decision, Don Romano said. As his father. You made a decision without talking to me first. Again. I don't run every decision about this family through a committee, Sophia. No, she said, and something in her voice had shifted from anger into something colder, older. You just run them through yourself, and then inform the rest of us after the fact, and expect gratitude for the courtesy. That's not fair. Isn't it? She stepped further into the kitchen. You kept an envelope in your desk drawer for 6 days and told me nothing. You knew a man was following your own son for a week before anyone thought to tell me. I am your wife, Don. Not a liability to be managed. I was protecting you. You keep saying that word like it means something different every time you use it. Her hands were shaking now, though her voice stayed level, the discipline of a woman who'd learned long ago never to raise it in front of the children even when everything in her wanted to. Protecting me from what, exactly? The truth about my own family? My own children's safety. From carrying weight you don't need to carry. I already carry it, Don. I carry it every single day, whether you tell me or not. I carry it when I can't sleep because your car is late. I carry it every time Emma asks why Victor stands outside her window at night. The only thing you're protecting me from is the choice to carry it with *u instead of alone. Emma's crane had stopped moving entirely. She was watching her mother now, something small and frightened crossing her face, the particular fear of a child who has never before heard her mother's voice sound like that. Mommy, she said quietly, are you and Daddy fighting? The question landed like a dropped glass. Sophia's face changed instantly, the anger draining into something gentler, guiltier, though it took visible effort. No, baby. Mommy and Daddy are just talking. You don't talk like that when you're just talking. Don Romano crossed the kitchen and crouched beside his daughter's chair, the same way he'd knelt at the school gate weeks earlier, the same way he'd learned, slowly, that certain moments required him to be smaller rather than taller. Your mother and I disagree sometimes, he said. That doesn't mean we don't love each other. Or you. Or your brother. Grown-ups aren't supposed to yell. No, Sophia said, kneeling beside him now too, the two of them lower than their daughter for the first time either could remember. We're not. And I'm sorry you heard that. Lucas finally set the glass down, water untouched, and spoke for the first time since the argument began. It's not really about Victor and the bathroom, is it? Both parents looked up at him. It's about the notebook, Lucas said. And the envelope. And the guy in the grey jacket. It's about all of it, and the bathroom thing is just the part you're allowed to yell about in front of us. Silence settled over the kitchen, broken only by the hum of the refrigerator and Emma's crane, which had started moving again, slow and uncertain, a child's way of pretending things were normal until they became normal again. Sophia looked at her son, 12 years old and reading the room with a clarity that unsettled her more than the argument itself had. Don Romano said nothing for a long moment, because there was nothing to say that would contradict a truth his son had named more precisely than he himself would have dared. You're right, Don Romano said finally, standing, offering Sophia a hand up beside him. It's not about the bathroom. Then what is it about? Emma asked, not looking up from her coloring, the question landing with the particular weight only a child's disinterested curiosity can carry. Don Romano looked at Sophia. Sophia looked back at him, something unresolved still sitting between them, though softer now, worn down by their children's honesty in a way their own arguing never managed. "It's about your father learning," Sophia said slowly, "that some things are too heavy to carry alone. Even for him. Is he going to learn it?" A faint, tired smile crossed Sophia's face despite everything. "We're working on it." Don Romano reached across the space between them and took his wife's hand, an ordinary gesture that felt, in that particular kitchen on that particular evening, larger than it looked. "Tonight," he said quietly, only to her, after they're asleep. "I'll tell you everything. All of it. The envelope, the photograph, the man in the grey jacket. No more managing you around it. All of it. All of it." Sophia held his gaze a moment longer, searching for the tell she never quite found, and this time, for the first time in longer than she could remember, she believed him without needing to find one. Behind them, Emma held up her coloring book, entirely unaware of the small, fragile promise that had just been made above her head. "Look! I made the sky purple instead of blue. It's beautiful, baby," Sophia said, voice thick, sitting back down beside her daughter as if the last 5 minutes had been an entirely different kind of storm, one that had passed, for now, leaving the kitchen quiet, and something between two exhausted parents just slightly less broken than it had been an hour before.